Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live session. Today, we're going to be discussing how to use the gathering energy to achieve success. How to use the gathering energy to achieve success in your life. Welcome. Today is it Thursday? Thursday, June 12th, 2025. How fast this year is going by. So, if you have any questions during this live session, please let me know about this topic or any other topics that you feel is important to you. I'm happy to entertain responses to questions as long as I can answer them, as long as I can answer them. And this is a really important topic because this topic is going to really talk about and show you and reveal to you your power, where you really, what resources you could gather to achieve success, what resources you could gather to achieve success, and you have them even if you're not aware of them. And so that's what this topic is about today. And like I said again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Happy to answer live about this topic or any other topic that you feel is important to you. Okay, so let's just clear the energy of the room first, and then we'll get started with this discussion of how to use the gathering energy to achieve success. How to use the gathering energy to achieve success. Hi, Heidi, how are you? Hi, Heidi, how are you? Oh, my favorite place, Boulder. My God, every time you say Boulder, I think, oh, I want to move over there. So you make me envious of the state. I've always the few times that I visited there, I've always loved it. Loved it. Okay, let's clear the energy of the room and then let's get started. My God, angels, spirit guides, and masters, divine creator. Thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space. Thank you so much for allowing us to talk and engage in this topic of how to gather, how to use the gathering energy to achieve success in your life. Thank you so much for sending us wisdoms, messages, guidance for this session so that it would benefit the beautiful souls in this room for their highest and best good. Thank you for removing any low frequency energies that do not belong and serve the highest and best interest of the souls in this room. Thank you so much for all that you do for us and guide us. And thank you so much for allowing this session to go off without a hitch, removing any low frequency energies that do not belong in this room, and for allowing this session to go off with peace, serenity, and flow. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. Um, yes, I'm doing as well as can be, doing as well as can be. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's go about talking about this, how to use the gathering energy to achieve success. Now, according to the I Ching, and I'm really into I Ching, the Chinese divination system. I've used it a lot in my own life to help guide me, to help make decisions, important decisions in my life. So the I Ching is something that I really use and refer back to a lot when I need clarity, when I need answers, solutions. And according to the I Ching, this gathering energy is so important because it's an energy not to gather so much of people or external things or external, you know, material things, or it's not so much to gather external things around you or external people around you. This gathering energy is more about gathering the internal resources that you already have within yourself. That is so powerful that you're not even consciously aware of. And that's the secret here, is that most of us are not consciously aware that we have all of these internal resources, that when we gather them together and align them and bring them together, how powerful it really is. And think about this, it's like a sports team. If you gather a bunch of, let's say a women's basketball team, and you gather 12 women that are going to have different talents and gifts, and different ways that they play basketball, and you gather those 12 women and they're all aligned on the same mission and goal, which is to win that game. Isn't that a powerful thing? Isn't that a powerful source, as opposed to having one person do their thing, the other person do their thing, the other person do their thing, right? So that's what this gathering energy is about, that there's lots of parts of you internally that is so beautiful, so powerful, allows you to manifest, allows you to be an incredible creator of your life. But a lot of times these resources, these internal resources that you have, are not brought together. That's what the secret here is, to bring all of those resources together and align them for a goal or mission. And that mission is something you might say, you know what, I want to, I want to I want to achieve this. I want to have a career in this field. And how can I achieve that goal? And so the way you achieve it is you take all of those internal resources that you actually have and you bring it together to fulfill that mission, that goal. And so often we're not doing that. There's a part of us that's, doing this, another part of us that's doing that, another part of us. We're not accessing all of it and we're not bringing it together. And that's what the I Ching is saying. Gather those energies, gather those internal resources, bring it together and see how powerful you become. See how powerful you become. And so that's where this gathering energy becomes so, so powerful and so whatever useful to manifest your future, to manifest your goal, to manifest that mission. Is a really powerful manifestational tool, is to gather the energies. So the question is, Moon, what am I actually gathering? What do those resources look like? What am I actually gathering? What do those resources look like? And how do I bring it together to manifest this goal or mission? So number one is, what do those resources look like? So this is a great exercise for you. And I always say, write everything down. Because when you write it down, it is the most powerful thing. Because when you write it down and you review it, you could see clearly what resources that you have. Because you want to be able to see them and recognize them and acknowledge them to be able to gather them. Because if you don't know what the resources are, then how can you gather something you don't know, right? It's like if you're trying to gather fruits and you don't know the fruits and you don't know where they are, how are you going to gather the fruits, right? When you go to harvesting. So it's the same thing. You have to know what those resources are that you already have. And so this is where the exercise becomes really important, is that you want to make sure that you're able to really be clear about what your resources are so that you could gather them. And so it's a good time to do this exercise when you're not feeling too stressed, when you're not feeling anxiety ridden, when you're not, feeling chaotic. You want to do this exercise when you feel more peaceful. You feel like you're in a better place where you could be objective, where you're not so internally biased, where there's some objectivity, where you could see what resources that you actually have rather than trying to make things up that is not true about you. So one of the things, so you're going to make columns. One of the gathering resources that you have, a big one, is what are your gifts and talents that God has bestowed upon you? What are those gifts and talents that you really have and you know you have them? And for some people, it might be, for example, let's say if you're trying to get a marketing job in a company, what are the gifts and talents that you naturally have that really support that role? It might be something like, I'm really creative. I'm really good at communicating. I'm really good at understanding the essence of that product or service. I'm really good at understanding what the essence of that product is, to communicate that. to a customer base. I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at that. So you want to write down all of the things that you know that you are internally really good at. And that you natural that I'm just really good at these things, and write those things down, because you know what you're good at and you know what you're not really great at. And then write down the things that you really like to do, like the things that you really like. Say, you know what? I really like, I really like, I really like putting out the messaging, but I'm not necessarily enjoying the writing process of it. But now with AI, I mean, you could probably write anything and it'll do it in 2 seconds. So you really want to be honest about what it is that you like and what you don't like to do. So there's things that I hate to do myself. I hate paying the bills. Well, I don't think anybody likes paying the bills, but even it's not even just paying the bills, it's going through the credit card, like these menial tasks. I hate these menial tasks. I just really can't, like going through, or scheduling my, you know, my day. Like I really hate stuff like that, where I have to schedule, where I have to coordinate, where I have to plan for travel, where I have to do this. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. And so I don't really enjoy organizational stuff, to tell you the truth. It's not something that I enjoy. So you really want to be honest about what it is that you like and you don't like. So what are the things that you really enjoy? I really enjoy putting the message out, but I may not necessarily enjoy writing. So that's another column, you know, is to really know. Then the third column is, what is your personality like? What does that personality look like? Am I more introverted? Am I more extroverted? Am I more somebody who is can stand up for myself? Am I somebody who doesn't like to stand up for myself? Am I somebody who is interested, is going to take the initiation? Or am I somebody who would rather get instructions? Am I more of a leader, or am I more of a follower? What are the personality traits that you have? And put the personality traits and just be honest about it. There's no wrong or right answer. That's the thing about this exercise, is that there's no wrong or right answer. If you think that there's wrong or right answer, you're wrong. There's really no wrong or right answer to this, to any of this exercise. It's just basically your energetic human design blueprint. What is that energetic human design blueprint that's going to lend for more success? Because you want to align with your human design. You don't want to go against it. And so you're basically trying to figure out, what is my human design? And if I have this human design, rather than going against that design, why don't I go with that design? Because if you align, you'll be stronger. If you go against it, all you're doing is creating this resistant energy. And creating resistant energy makes the manifestation go a lot slower. It gets delayed. It doesn't happen quickly enough. And so that's why you really want to, figure out what is really your human design. What are your natural talents and gifts? What do you like to do and then not like to do? And what is really your personality? What is your personality? So that you could be driven to create that manifestation, because there's got to be a drive there. But there's not, Tony Robbins always said people are not lazy, they're just not motivated. And I totally agree. I don't know, I don't think there's any lazy person. There's a lot of unmotivated people, but there's no lazy person. And the difference between why you're lazy, why you're not motivated, is because you haven't really done the exercise of who you really are, and really leverage and optimize you. Because when you leverage and optimize you, you will find the things that you love and find the things that give you joy and make you motivated to wake up to do the things. That's what you'll do. You'll find those things. But if you're not like really aligning with who you are, then of course it's going to feel like work. It's going to feel heavy. You're going to be lethargic. You have no energy for it, right? How do you create energy for something? Because creating that energy is what's going to drive that thing, what's going to drive it to manifestation. And so you want to make sure that you're creating that energy. That's what's really important here, is to create that energy to drive it. That's what you want to be able to drive. Hi, Botanical Bro 888. And so that's the key here. But if you don't really know you and you can't align with you, then you're always going to choose the wrong thing and make the wrong decision for yourself. And that will create that lack of motivation. And that's what Tony Robbins is talking about. He always says people are not lazy, they're just not motivated. 1,000% agree with that. Because when you align with who you really are, oh, you're going to go. You're going to go and nobody's going to stop you from going. Nobody. I guarantee you, nobody's going to stop you from going. You're going to go, 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 go. And so those three things are really going to inform what it is is how can I employ those three things of myself and use that as a tool to manifest that goal. You're going to use these things as a tool. Those are the resources that you have. Those are the resources that you have that you want to gather together. The internal resource of my talents and gifts, the internal resource of what it is that I actually enjoy and not enjoy, the internal resources of who I am. What is more my personality? Am I more of an introvert? Am I more of an extrovert? Am I somebody who enjoys being a leader, or somebody who rather enjoy being somebody who likes to take directions or be guided? What are those things about myself? Those are all of the resources that you have that is unique to you. There's nobody out there, I guarantee you, there's nobody out there on this planet that has the exact same resources as you. It's going to all look different. Like there's no two human design that's the same. There's no two human design that's the same. And there's no two resources that are the same. So how can I take these inner resources that are unique to you, nobody has them, and express that in a way that's unique to you? Because yes, you could have three people that are great writers, but those three people will express it completely different. Nobody's going to express it the same way, right? If they're writing a message for a marketing campaign or something, nobody's going to do it the same way. Because it's going to be Heidi's way of doing it, or it's going to be Botanical Bro's way of doing it. It's going to be Charlie's way of doing it. It's going to be Samantha's way of doing it. Nobody's going to express it the same way, even though maybe the three of you have the gift of writing. There's no way you're going to do it the same way because you have a different energetic blueprint. And so then what it is that you say, oh, wow, I see where my resources, this is my strength, these are more my weaknesses, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, these are my talents, these are my gifts. And so now you've got it spread out, like even like almost like a board where you could clearly start to see where you could bring those things together, all of that together. You could see that, wow, I have a gift of writing. I don't really like maybe the marketing part of it, but I like writing it. Then I have I enjoy telling stories, and I have a gift of writing and I enjoy telling stories. Then my personality, I'm more of an introvert versus an extrovert. I don't really like being out there telling people what to do or managing others. I'm more of an introvert. I like doing my own thing as opposed to going out and managing other people. So you're going to start to see those things, right? on in your diary, in your journal, you're going to start seeing, and you're like, wow, I see this, I see this, I see this. And how can I now gather all the qualities that I have that really support me, that really make me unique, that shows what my human design is, really show who I am, and how am I going to showcase that? Bring it all together and showcase it out into the world. How I'm going to take that and actually apply it to the goal. And so how can I apply it, and what industries? And you might even think about the industries that you could take all of that and apply it, and then have a goal. You could also create a goal that way. So you know what? I really love writing. I'm more of an introvert. I like to do things on my own. I like telling stories because it really connects with others, and I like when others feel connected to a story and it really can help them. Wow, that means that I would like to write a book that truly reflects who I am. Because so if I gather those things, I could write an incredible book that could be published, and it'll resonate with millions of people, and that resonance will allow you to achieve that goal, whatever it is. And when you sell a lot of books, then you can make money, right? But most people don't sell a lot of books because they really shouldn't be writing a book. They've taken their internal resources and they've applied it in the wrong way. They haven't optimized their internal resources. That's the key here, is how can I optimize my internal resources, gather it, and then apply it to some kind of a career, profession, or whatever, for that manifestation. And that's what that gathering energy is about. It's about A, recognizing what those resources are, and then B, how can I bring it together, those resources, and then C, how can I apply it to the world that it brings about a successful manifestation, a positive manifestation, something that you feel so proud of, something that you feel expansion and growth. You're like, wow, I can't even believe I achieved this. Because, and it's not even about the money. The money is just a byproduct. It's about that feeling that you're growing and expanding. But you can only feel that when you've taken those resources and applied it in the right way for you, not for somebody else. Somebody has a different path. It's for you, your unique gathering energy, that unique energetic blueprint. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me take a break and look at some comments. If you have any questions about this topic, let me know. Hi. Okay. Hi, Batet. Thank you for that clarification. You're welcome. Sometimes the weight of societal obligations, making financial based ends meet, etc., can periodically drain the motivational and creative energy out of you. I 1,000% agree. I 1,000% agree. And that's why the weight of societal, I get what you're saying, especially let's say you have some obligation, now you have a family, right? And I've got to put food on the table, and I've got to pay the rent, and I've got to, take care of, even if you don't have children, you got to still put food on your table and pay the rent, right? Right? So what we're saying here is you're not going to necessarily make this transition. You just say, you know what, I'm just going to quit today and I'm going to do this direction. I'm just going to quit. If you could afford to quit, then great. But a lot of people can't afford to quit. So what you're doing is you're going to make a transition to that gathering energy. You're not going to quit today. You're going to make a commitment to yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to really find out what it is that really motivates me. And I'm going to spend time, maybe it's after work or maybe it's on the weekend, to find that time, commit to myself to put that time in to make a transition out of this job to a transition of a job that I feel that I have really optimized who I am. There's a transition period. That's why it's all about inner growth and development, right? Nothing, it's not like something's gonna happen overnight. It is a transition where you've actually made a commitment to yourself to say, I'm going to, and I've done this before where I've done something, oh, I'm not crazy about, but I've also spent time outside of that job to create something that was more me, spending time. And you know how many times I meet founders, I have, we're building this AI tech in Chinese medicine, and I meet founders of companies all the time. And you know how many founders I meet that have a part-time job or that have a full-time job that's doing this on the side, that's doing it on the weeknights or in the weekends. They're spending all their time outside of, just making money to live to do their startup company. It's incredible what I've seen because they're making a commitment to themselves. So it's really, that's the premise here. Are you going to make a commitment to yourself for that journey? That's where you have to really evaluate, am I somebody who's willing to make that commitment to myself and really put in that time and energy to make that transition? And if it's easier, if you feel like, no, this is too hard, because by the time I come home from work, I'm too exhausted mentally and emotionally, then that's when you have to figure out what is holding you back mentally and emotionally. Maybe you need to work with a therapist. Maybe you need to work with somebody to help you get there mentally, emotionally, that space where you want to make that commitment to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really, and that's not an easy thing necessarily to get to say, I want to make this commitment to myself. And sometimes, people don't have it in them to make that commitment. And that's another thing where you really want to be really honest with yourself. Am I willing to make that commitment to myself? And that's a question only you can answer. And you have to be brutally honest if you can make that commitment to yourself. But I see founders all the time. I'm going into another session today with other founders, and I'm telling you, half the founders in that room, they have a part-time job, they have a full-time job, they have family, they have children. I mean, it's unbelievable. They have so much going on in their life. They're trying to put food on the table, have a home for themselves and their family, and they're doing this on the side. They're spending all of their time outside of those obligations because they've made a commitment to themselves. So I've seen it. So that's the first thing that you want to get through is whether, and I totally agree, Botanical Bro 888. I mean, this societal obligations, right? And then, and making that ends meet just to meet those financial things. I totally get it. And what I would suggest, Botanical Bro 888, is, I've been using AI, for different things now. And it's really helped me. The AI has assisted me in many different things, and I'm very grateful for the AI. So use the power of AI to assist you in things. There's lots of AI apps now that can help with scheduling, that can help with so many things. Use it to assist you. If you don't have enough time and energy, use the AI because the AI will help you cut the time in at least by 50%, if not 80, 90%. I have done things where if I had done it from scratch, it would have taken me maybe, you know, 2 hours. But now I've done it in 20 minutes or 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So think about how much it cut that time for that efficiency. AI is I mean, it's a two-sided coin. I said AI is a very double-sided coin. On the one hand, it's amazing. On the other hand, it could create a lot of problems. And I always say with AI, it's all about the intention. If you have an intention for good and to make positive change and you're using AI, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But if you have an intention to destroy and to harm and you're using AI, that's a very dangerous thing. So it's a two-sided coin. I always say everything's yin and yang, you know? Okay. Hi, Stellar Advice. You're welcome, Botanical Bro. What is Junebug? Oh, what a cute thing. Thank you for your light. You're welcome. That is so sweet. Please hit the like button for these jewels that's she's dropping. Oh, that's so sweet. Junebug, AI has helped me a lot to help me streamline my mental processes. I love that. I love that. I love the fact that you're using AI to help you streamline your mental processes. I love it because, once you that AI gets really entrained, it gets entrained more and more, it's going to help you more and more. I mean, my co-founder of my AI health tech company, he's a genius, and he has 5 AI assistants that he's been in training for different reasons, for different purposes. And it's amazing, how efficient he has become, and how amazing, because the AI is looking at things that he hasn't even thought of, or gaps that the AI is filling in gaps that he hasn't even thought of. And so it's incredible. And so I'm really glad, Junebug, that you are using AI to help you, because the AI is out of the Pandora's box. It's not going to go back in. There's no way it's going to ever go back in. And so why not use it for your benefit? Why not use it to help you, to gather because the AI is a great assistant. I don't think it's going to ever replace your unique creativity, your unique resources, that internal resource. The AI is going to use the AI to help you and assist you, to supplement you, to assist you. You are the main essence of creation. Use the AI to help you, assist in that creation, assist in your message getting out there, assist in your ability to get out there, and for your human design, your uniqueness to be packaged so that it could resonate with others. Use it to help you do that. You're not going to use it to replace you. You're never going to do that, because you are so uniquely created. I mean, think about it. You have your own consciousness. Think about the miracle of having a life come out. When you have a baby that is born, isn't that a miracle? The fact that the baby grows and then it develops and then it's born. Well, you are that baby that was born. Think about how special, what uniqueness you have to be able to have been created by God and the image of God and by the divine. Think about what a miracle that is. And you don't think that there's something so profoundly beautiful in who you are and the unique resources that you have? Because, well, what happened was, over the time, what's happened is society has said to us, the essence of you as that baby that now developed into this adult, all of that essence is within you. It hasn't left because you became an adult. But what happens is, as we become adult and we start going to society, whether we go into the kindergarten, then we go into elementary school, then we go into junior high school, we go to high school, and then we go out in the world, society keeps putting us down. Keep saying you're worthy because you have this. You're worthy because you look like this. You're worthy because this. The worthiness is always condition based. And so all of the beauty in you, all of those amazing resources within you, keeps on getting suppressed over and over and over and over. And now the essence of you is this miracle, but they keep suppressing that miracle. You are a miracle. And think about all the miracle resources that you have, but society keeps pressing, suppressing, right? And so you get to a point where you're like, I'm not good enough. I can't do that, because so much of that absorption of societal pressure, like, Botanical Bro AA said, that's a societal obligation. And so we've been so suppressed over and over again, that how is that divinity, how is that miracle within you going to shine, going to burst out? It can't, because you've been so suppressed, and all of that absorption of the low frequency energy is suppressing your miracleness, if there is such a word as miracleness. But you are a miracle. The fact that you are born from, and developed the way you are, that is, I'm always amazed by, the development of the human species, the way it's developed from the fetus, and then it gets developed. I'm always amazed. It's a miracle. And in that infinite miracle of you, there's so many resources within you. And those are the resources that you've got to acknowledge, recognize, gather. That's the gathering energy. How do I gather all of these eternalness of greatness that I have? And then put it out into the world, and it's going to resonate. It's going to hit. And the money is just going to kind of become a byproduct because it's hit. Because they're like, oh my God, look at that book she wrote. Did you read that book? It was so profound. And then, and then the friend's going to recommend to a friend and recommend to a friend because that book was so, the storytelling was so profound. It was so beautiful. It was so deep that it resonated with people. And they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, like that. And the money becomes a byproduct. And so this is what we're talking about, that you don't even understand what a miracle and what incredible resources that you have. You're not even aware of it. And so this is about, how can I bring conscious awareness to my resources, my internal resources. The first, because a lot of times most people don't even think they have anything within them to give to the world. They don't even believe it because we've been so suppressed, right? Been so suppressed by societal norms, society, what's white noise of society. Steve Jobs always said the white noise of society has so suppressed us that we don't even have a conscious awareness of what those resources are within us. And that's what we want to bring to the forefront, is that conscious awareness. And by writing it down, that's how you bring it to the forefront. You're going to write it down. Because if you don't write it down, it's going to be a lot harder to bring it to the conscious awareness, to bring it to the forefront. Okay, so what other questions do we have here? Okay, hi, Batambra. I've been challenging myself to learn about AI assistance. Great, wonderful. Let's just pray that we don't end up with a termination in regard to AI. Yes, I agree. I think that, look, this is what I would say. There are people that have bad intentions, right? And it's great that you're praying. I love that. But in order to counteract that, right, we need good people to use AI because bad people will use AI. So we need good people to counteract. It's the yin and yang. So if bad people are going to use AI, then we must have more good people use AI, right? So that we could get that yin yang balance. You get what I'm saying? So I encourage all good people to use AI, all good people, so that we can have that counterbalance. So we can have that yin yang balance. Okay. Yes. Junebook says, yes, makes me wonder if the people who are afraid of AI taking over just have experienced their soul blueprint. Well, it's that's interesting. I think it's the fear of an unknown, right? And the other fear is that the AI is bringing such rapid change, and most people don't feel comfortable with rapid change. They feel really uncomfortable. Sometimes change that's more gradual and slow is something that most people can deal with, handle better mentally, emotionally. But when you have this rapid change, wow, there's a lot of fear with that because the AI is moving at a speed of light. I mean, it's literally moving at the speed of light. That's what it's moving at. And so think about how many people are going to feel uncomfortable with that rapid change, rapid speed. There's an uncomfortability to that, right? So, you know, it's all in the intention of the user when using AI. Absolutely, Heidi. That's what I always say. It's always the intention behind everything. What is the intention? Because if the intention is to help others and for positive change, the AI is going to be a beautiful thing. And so I'm choosing in that direction. I'm choosing in that direction. I'm always choosing that direction, that this could be a positive thing. I have to, because other people are going to do what they're going to do. And none of us have control over what they're going to do. But we have absolute control of what we do, what I do, right? That's the only thing I have control of. I have no control over what other people are doing. And so if I'm going to choose to use it in a way that's promoting health and wellness, that's how I'm choosing to use it. through using AI on traditional Chinese medicine. Okay. Hi, Niger. How are you? Uh, this came in good time. My mother told me today she regrets educating me because I don't submit to her financial demands. Yet part of my education was scholarship and my father's efforts. Oh, okay. Oh, you got a scholarship. Oh, congratulations. That's beautiful. You know what? It's a beautiful thing, Najira, that you're not submitting to people's financial demands. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. The fact that you've set healthy boundaries, because if you submit to her financial demands, is she going to get better? No, she's going to get worse because she's going to get more bullyish. She's going to expect more. She's going to feel more entitled. You don't give a spoiled kid and you don't spoil them more because if you give the spoiled kid, you're just going to spoil them more and they're going to get worse. So you're not even helping them. So the fact that you've set a healthy boundary, that's a beautiful thing. And you should be proud of yourself for doing that and give yourself credit. Um, Oh, thank you. She said, yours, Empress Mona and physicist Nassim always assist me in remembering my intrinsic infinite potential. Absolutely. I want you to get back to that. You are the intrinsic, the true nature of who you are, which is what the Buddhists say, is an eternal being of infinite potential. And so much because we live in this time space reality, this third world dimension called life, it trips us up because we have too many people that don't understand their infinite potential. So if you have all of these people out there that don't understand their infinite potential, then they're going to impose limitations on you because they're projecting their limitations and they're always going to have to project it out to others and out to the planet, right? If you are limited, then that's all you're going to project. That's all you're going to broadcast. And then there are people around those people that will receive that limitation. No wonder why so many of us feel limited because so many people feel limited, right? So we've got to get more people to really remind you of your infinite potential, that you are a miracle. Think about it. These sperm and egg came together to create a fetus, and then it started to develop. That's a miracle. Think about how much wisdom there is in that, how much power there is in that, how much beautiful energy that has come together to create you. Think about that. It's incredible. It's mind boggling. It's more mind boggling than even AI. I think that creation of you is so mind-boggling. And there's nobody out there that's going to be you, right? You're going to have that specific DNA with a specific energetic blueprint with a specific human design. So think about how much resources that you really have within you that if you gather them and align them with a goal, what your manifestation level will be. It will go from here to here. The manifestation will go from here to there. So that's what I want to that's thank you for letting me know that, to remind you of your eternal and infinite potential. To remind you. I think that is my job. And I have to remind myself. I have to wake up and say, Moon, you're worthy. Moon, you're good enough. Moon, you're fine. Moon, you're beautiful. Moon, I have to do that every day myself because I've been beaten up because I came from such dysfunctional family that I've been beaten up to think that, because of my father at the hands of not my mother. My mother she's a beautiful person, but my father. And so I have to keep reminding myself, yes, you're good enough. You're a miracle. Give them an inch, they take a mile. Absolutely. Yep. That is so true, Heidi. You give them an inch, you give a spoiled child an inch, and they'll take everything and they'll just run over you. That's where you have to set the boundaries. So good for you, Najir, for setting those boundaries. Okay. Wonderful, Heidi. Thank you for that beautiful slogan. There's a movie, Botanical Bro says, there's a movie that was released in the 70s told Colossus, the Forbidden Experiment that dealt with AI. I haven't seen that movie. Wow, I haven't seen that movie. Thank you for telling me about it. I'll try to look it up. Nijera, thank you, Moon. Yes, I have and still am working on my boundaries. That's good. It's good. And the fact that you're acknowledging that you're still working on it, that's a good thing. Because the fact that you have an awareness that you're working on it, that's a beautiful thing. The fact that I always say the fact that you have an awareness of something about yourself and your life, you're already 50% there because most people don't even have that awareness of that I need to set boundaries. They don't even have that. So the fact that you have that awareness, you're already 50% there. The other 50% is getting better at it. It's the practice, getting better at it, better at it, better. But you're already there, 50% there. It's just every day you're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it. And over the years, think about how good you're going to get with these setting healthy boundaries. So that's a beautiful thing. So give yourself a lot of credit for that. I don't think you give yourself enough credit for recognizing. And I want all of you to give yourself credit for recognizing that you are a miracle. And you could say in the morning with the, Louise Hay mirror, when you go in front of the mirror, it says, you are a miracle. You could, Heidi, you could look at yourself in the mirror. You are a miracle. Najira, you're a miracle. Junebug, you're a miracle. Botanical Bro 888, you're a miracle. Remind yourself that you are a miracle and that you have all of these resources that are unique to you. Nobody has them because nobody is going to be another Heidi. Nobody's going to be another Najira. Nobody's going to be another Botanical Bro 888. Nobody's going to be another Junebug. Nobody's going to be that, right? So you should acknowledge that. You should have awareness. And that's where we fall short, so many of us, is that we don't even have an awareness of our miracleness. It's just mind-boggling to me. Heidi Gold, so grateful for these chit chats. My sanity in this insane world. Yes. Oh my God. Is it insane or what? The things that we are seeing, the unrest. People just, I just feel, because I'm very empathic. I feel the heaviness of the planet. And so I have to do a lot of energy cleansing. I really do feel the heaviness. And because I'm very empathic. So yes, there's a lot of things that are going on that just feels heavy, right? And so I think we're getting through this. And I think bit by bit, it's gonna, but and I'm always trying to focus my mind on creation and building and innovating because I can only control myself. So I think to myself, okay, I can't control any of that, but what can I control that could put me, that it's about creation, it's about building, it's about innovating, it's about helping, it's about bringing it into positive direction. What in my resources that you have, in each one of us has, how can I focus that energy and resources that I have for that direction, for creation, innovation, building, making a positive impact rather than focusing on the other? Because, none of us can do anything about what others do, right? We have only control of ourselves. And so I do that. I try to focus. Every time I get into a state, it's like, oh, it feels, I say, no, stop, Moon. So you got to stop. Okay, what can I do right now to focus in that direction? What can I do right now to focus in that direction? What can I do right now? And so I keep having to bring myself back, bring myself back, bring myself back. Miracle 888, that's what I make it my username to remind myself. Miracle 888, that is so beautiful. You know what? An 888, that numerology, that's infinite. It's infinite. It's eternal, right? So you are a miracle of infiniteness and eternalness, right? So miracle 888 makes so much sense. Genius. Thank you for giving yourself that username. I love it because it is infinite. You are a miracle and you are eternal. And miracle plus the 888, which is infinite, infinity, right? It's infinity. That's what you are. You are infinity. That's the true nature of you. When your body goes, it gets transformed. You are still here and you are eternally growing and expanding. And so that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Miracle 888, for having recognized that about yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Heidi. Heidi put that little 888. I love that. Thank you, Heidi, for putting that. That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions or anything, something important? Then otherwise, we can just close this room out. So let's just recap really quickly. So the gathering energy in the I Ching is really about gathering your internal resources that you have. What are your talents and gifts? What is your personality? What is it that you like to do? Those are your gifts. Those are the resources, and you want to bring those resources together, gather them together, align them for a goal or mission. And when you do that, you are so powerful. Your manifestation ability just jumps like from here to here. It's amazing because you are truly leveraging the power of your resources the way God created you uniquely, that nobody is going to be you. And that uniqueness is going to resonate with people, resonate out there. There's no question. But where we fall short is that we're not gathering these resources. We're not recognizing them and then gathering them and then packaging it to put out to the world. That's where we fall short. So remember, you have so many incredible resources within you because you are that miracle 888 of infinite possibilities. And therefore, if you could gather them and then apply them, think about how powerful you become. What an incredible creator you are. Okay, so that's the essence of this gathering energy. Okay, so let's do a closing prayer. Dear God, angel, spirit guides, and masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space and for talking about this topic of gathering your resources for success. Thank you so much for guiding us and continue to give us these higher messages and continue to bless all of these beautiful souls so that they may recognize their infinite potential, and gather their internal resources so that it may be applied and that they may truly feel that expansion and growth. Thank you so much for your continued support, your continued guidance, your continued wisdoms, and most importantly, your continued unconditional love. And so it is. Namaste. I'll see you again next week. Much love and blessings to all of you. Have a great weekend. Bye.